Hey folks, it's Roy coming at you with a Class D audio amplifier review comparison, I guess. It's been a while since I've done this type of video, but I thought this was a pretty cool situation here and a product that I think is leaps and bounds worth its value, bang for buck, if you need a good amplifier but not break the bank and really not take up too much foot space or room on your bookshelf. For my use case, I just have a living room / den office. I'm running two bookshelf Now Hear This NHT Super Ones, and I think they're 8 ohm. And they're fabulous speakers, love them. I've got a Definitive Technology active subwoofer, Super Cube I think is what it's called. It'll take speaker wire from amplifiers, it'll take LFE, low frequency coax, and it'll take full range line in through RCA. But at any rate, before I jump into the review, I just want to share that first, I bought this about a year and a half ago. This is the Fosi Audio Class D amplifier, and it's done me well. It's worked quite well, and I really don't have any chief complaints about it. It just works for, again, my use case that I described. This is a 2.1 channel, so you've got your right and left, and your sub out here speaker. You also have an LFE coax sub out, and you have your RCA for component in. And I actually use a DAC by another manufacturer. We won't get into that. Power supply for this non-pro, this is the BT30D non-pro. The power supply that comes with it is 24 volt. And as you see, it's rated here 12 to 24 volt. It does Bluetooth, and I'll get into the Bluetooth chip and all. But it works well. But reading the specs and reading about Fosi's Pro version, I felt it was a good thing to upgrade to. I am driving higher impedance speakers, 8 ohm speakers, and I think I'm going to get better sound out of it. And I could tell you that, yes, that's true, but it's kind of subjective. And I really don't want to get into all the audiophile mumbo jumbo. I'm later in life and my hearing is starting to go south on me. So mainly, I just know that for the right electronics in this Class D amplifier, going with the Pro version, I'm happy that I did that. So anyway, let's jump into it. I've got the Pro version here, the BT30D Pro, and I think this is running, gosh, I think this is ballpark $80, and this is ballpark about $100 to $120, okay? It comes with the amplifier, small little instruction booklet. I won't get into that. Bluetooth antenna. This one comes with a 36 volt, but you can push it with 48 volts. And I'll go into a little bit of that here in a second. But just look at the footprint here. The Pro, close this box up, move it off. The Pro is bigger, okay? As far as the width is the same. The height is almost identical. The non-Pro sits proud of this surface by just about 1 millimeter is all. Might have something to do with the feet. Not really sure there. And the depth of the Pro is actually 1.5 inches case, and overall it's about 2 inches deeper. Okay, I am going to break these open later in the video just to show the internals. Okay, so now that the intro is all over, let's dive into the purpose of this video. And that's really to show the physical differences. I just did that between the Fosi BT30D, this one, and the 30D Pro. Touch a little bit on sound quality and function, just a bit. Again, My ears are older. I really don't want to delve into that too much. And I'm not going to reinvent the wheel here, okay? There's a great deep dive on the 30D on Audio Science review forums. So Google that real quick, Audio Science review forums, and just search BT30D Pro review. There's a gentleman on that forum that really did a nice deep dive on this. Okay, so again, the main purpose is exactly that, to provide another review to an already fair number out there. It's good for you, for me, and the manufacturer. It's just another chap here in the ether with another take and angle on these products. As a high-level introduction, I will try to compare 3 Class D amplifiers. Obviously, I only have 2 here, but I want to compare the Fosi Audio BT30D, the BT30D Pro, and the Aiyima A07, which I think is a fair, close competitor to these Class D amplifiers. So real quick, the BT30D non-pro, okay? The chipset is a Texas Instrument TPA 3116 D2. It's 2.1 channel. The power of this guy is 50 watts by 2 and 100 watts for the sub. The sub outputs are LFE and passive speaker wire. The stock power supply is 24 volts. And as it says on the back here, that's the maximum you can go on this guy, 24 volts, okay? The BT30D Pro is a Texas Instrument TPA 3255, a better chip than the 3116. All around, and again, I'm not going to deep dive in the chip. There's great reviews out there between the two. So again, the TPA 3255, it is a 2.1. Again, 50 watt by 2, 100 watt sub. This one is 165 watt by 2, thanks to the 3255. You can drive more power to it, plus 350 watt. I'm not going to get into measuring that for this review. I'm just reading out specs. It has a 3.5 millimeter pre-out, full range. Okay, so what I'm going to end up doing, I'm not going to use passive. I'm going to do a pre-out full range, which is going to render these 2 knobs useless in my case, sub-frequency and volume. I will have to adjust that on my active subwoofer. So what I'm going to end up using is this pre-out, this 3.5 millimeter pre-out to stereo RCA in on my subwoofer, and I will have to dial in those frequencies and cutoffs and such in volume. Okay. So, oh yeah, and this guy here comes with a 36 volt power supply, default 36 volt in here, but you can upgrade it to a 48 volt. Okay, and yeah, so that's this guy. And then finally, the third, Aiyima A07, it's a TP3255. Okay, the Aiyima A07 is a 2-channel only, so it doesn't drive a subwoofer. That's the key difference here. It's a little more powerful, 300 watts by 2. I think that's attributed to the way they bridge the chips and split out mono for the sub for this one here. So it's eating up some of that utility, or power rather. So not a big deal there. So it's basically a 2-channel, 300 watt by 2 TPA 3255, just plain Jane, as straight as you can get, Class D amplifier, Aiyima A07. I don't remember the price of that one. I want to say it's a little north of this, but not by much. It's pretty much the same. And it can run 36 volts up to 48 volts max for that Aiyima. All right, so what about this chipset, this 3255? How is the 3255 better than the 3116? Again, there's plenty of articles out there. Just know you get roughly double the power wattage output with the 3255, along with better total harmonic distortion, signal to noise ratio, and wider frequency response, which translates to just a better all-around Class D audio experience. Reference what I said in the beginning of the video about my higher impedance bookshelf 8 ohm. Anyway, just get the 3255. At the end of the day, for a small margin, you'll be better off in the long run. The BT30D sub-out is limited to transmitting frequencies, bass frequencies only, okay? So this LFE is bass frequency only, okay? So the sub-frequency volumes apply to both passive and active subwoofers, okay? This BT30D Pro. So just keep that in mind. You're going to be using these regardless of this or this. And guys, please, I'm not a seasoned audiophile and audio electronics guru by any stretch of the imagination. So if I misspeak, please just let me know. Be respectful, but let me know, please. This 30D Pro, instead of a dedicated sub out, it features a full range signal port called a pre-out. That's this guy here, okay? It can be connected to either active speakers or subwoofers. When connected to subwoofer, it delivers low frequency signals when you set the crossover controls on the subwoofer. So again, on my subwoofer, that's the Definitive Tech Supercube. I'm gonna have to tweak those potentiometers to my liking, okay? And honestly, that's kind of one minor little drawback here. I thought it was convenient having them here on the amplifier and not having to go to the corner of my room, move a plant out of the way to get to the back of the subwoofer. But I think once I dial it in, it's said and done. The range of the frequency range for the passive subwoofer output is 20 to 300 hertz. Not sure if I mentioned that. I don't think I did. Also, using a more powerful 48 volt DC can help prevent distortion and enable the amplifier to drive larger, more powerful, and higher impedance speakers. Yes, that's true. For me, though, you know, the BT30D comes with 24 volt DC power supply, whereas a Pro comes with 36. And sometimes actually some resellers will have the 48 volt option available when you check out. But in my opinion, for my use case, such a small office setup with these two 8 ohm bookshelf speakers, I think the bookshelf is minimum 25 watt, maximum 150 watt. I think the 36 volts is going to be more than ample. And at the end of the day, I would feel more comfortable feeding this 36 volts all day long than 48 volts all day long. But that's just my opinion. And the final thing here about specifications, both of these use Bluetooth. And the Bluetooth chip is the ATS2853. You can look that up, ATS2853. The one thing that you'll hear in all the other reviews, including mine, is the dislike of not being able to disable Bluetooth. And you can't, which means anyone can hijack your signal within range. Keep the antenna off. I am going to maybe dig to see if there's some way to disable it internally, lifting leads, whatever, I don't know. But again, I use an external DAC and its Bluetooth capability instead of the Class D amplifier. So in conclusion, in hindsight, I should have ponied up and bought this in the beginning. But that's fine, really, at the end of the day, because the investment's so small. I mean, I think I got this in holiday sale. Black Friday, I can't remember exactly, but I probably got this for $75 out the door, shipped to my door. So it's good that I use this. And now that I've listened to this and I'm going to this, I realize the upgrade. And that's good. So without this, I wouldn't realize that. So now I have a spare here. I don't know if I'm going to give it to one of my sons, but at the end of the day, I should have gone with this. I really like this. Now, some minor gripes here, and they're minor. The front of this, if you look at the text. The Pro is very subtle, not very loud, and that's typically what I believe most people like. Not that the non-Pro is super loud with the text, but it is more loud. The non-pro here on the left, the knobs do kind of stand out a little more. There's a chamfer here with the aluminum that's highlighted, but the main difference are the knobs and the knurling. The knurling is that textured grip, okay? See that textured grip? It's absent on the Pro, and man, why did you do that, Fosi? Why did you do that? That would have been very nice to have the knurled. I don't know, it's just a classy feel. It just feels more polished to me. Just like just like both, there's no mid-range detent like you see on other audio equipment or you feel. Likewise with the sub volume or more on the sub frequency, there's no indication of where that cutoff is, you know, the 300 hertz, where the 20 hertz is, and so it's all taste. So now, all of that said and done, I'm going to open them up and just let you peer on the inside to compare both of these, and that'll wrap up the video. Thank you. All right, like I mentioned, I'd crack these open, show you the internals of both of these Class D amplifiers. This is the Fosi Audio BT30D non-pro and the Pro BT30D Pro. For the non-pro, the heat sink's on the top. And the chip is mounted, the chips are mounted underneath, and the capacitors here are NXA. I'm not too familiar with that manufacturer capacitor. They are 1000 microfarad 25 volt, and the filter inductors coil, these copper coils here, are really kind of honestly bottom of the barrel. They function, they do their job, but they are improved and upgraded here on the Pro. Terminal block here for the speakers and the workmanship and some of the quality components is where they save money in making these Class D amplifiers. You get what you pay for, but at the end of the day, it'll serve you well if, you know, you don't overdrive it and you take care of it. But I think all in all, they did good for this product, and they targeted a very large market, and I think they're doing well. I would have upgraded these terminals, something a little better, maybe better quality components, but of course it's just going to drive the price up, right guys? There is one thing here, gosh, where is it? Bottom right front. There's a chassis interrupt here. Spring-loaded switch, chassis interrupt of some sort. Anybody know what that's for? It looks like it says JX or JK. It's existing here too on the BT30D Pro. So here's the 30D Pro, and these capacitors, I'm pretty sure they're upgraded quality wise as well. Never heard of this brand, ZHUOKAS. They're 2200 microfarad 50 volts. The inductors are higher quality, so I think better higher frequency filtration going on there, most likely. And then the two Texas Instrument chips here, the two TPA 3255s are mounted on the bottom, and this is the heat sink with just a small amount of thermal paste, and the bottom of the case there conducts and pulls that thermal energy off of those chips. So I think I'm going to add a little more thermal paste across this, a bead across this entire plate, for better conduction there. Terminals are the same. Probably most of the other components are the same. The adjustment potentiometers are the same. I actually put these knobs that I mentioned that are nice, that I feel are better quality, onto here, but they expose some of the back washer here, that silver part, so I'm just going to keep it stock. But anyway, that's the internals of these two Class D amplifiers, and at the end of the day, I like them both, but I think this is going to serve me in the long run better, and it's not a lot more money, honestly, so highly recommend this. Oh, one other thing too, there is a Bluetooth radio wire here and a landing here. You could lift that and it wouldn't disable Bluetooth, but I don't think it would transmit worth a darn without that antenna and this lead mounted to the board here, the main board. Same thing with the non-pro. So that is possibly an option. I don't think I'm going to do it. I'm not going to worry about it. And then one final remark at the end of the day, you know, I mentioned some of the components. If they would improve on some of the components, of course, the price would go up. And another thing that they could do, but I know they won't, because it's product segregation. It's all about marketing, right? This guy here has LFE out, coax LFE out, and this here has a full range pre-out. I mean, how hard, really, how hard would it be to add also an LFE pre-out here? Absolutely doable. In fact, even on this one, to add a full range pre-out, 3.5 millimeter. They don't do that because of differentiation and pushing product, right? They pack everything into one, and it's a great price. Everyone's going to buy that and nothing else, right? So, all right. Well, that's it for this review. I appreciate you tuning in. Thank you, and goodbye for now.